Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the weekend update. I decided this week, I haven't been doing a lot of these videos really because this market has been take what each day shows you or gives you type of market has been for the last month or so. I don't see that changing at all and possibly getting even slower at times than we have seen. Of course, couple of the biggest drivers: interest rates, inflation, etc., etc. This is a 10-year chart of the 10-year, which up until recently has been smacking the market around when it's been going on big moves. And here we have, this is a 10-year. We're almost back to where we were 2018-19 pre-COVID, before the shock to the system. If we look at just the 1-year chart right here, what a move we've had here. And really, what's crazy is the size of this move has not really been reflected in the indices, but I think that is about to come to fruition. This market is not trading right. A lot of the stuff underneath it is not trading right. That is why I continue to just have a day-by-day view on the market with a couple of core swings, and one of those core swings actually paid nicely on Friday, and that's exactly what I want to see while remaining high cash. My goal is to stay around 95% plus cash in my swing. I'll play a couple of swings, some small positions, but I want cash. I want to sleep at night. I don't know what the market's going to do each day, and I'm just going to approach it and continue to approach it on a day-by-day market. Now, going into this week, I do not like what I see out there. The action has been very, very poor in the last week, as you guys all know. But the underlying action, the indices should not be where they are based on how most stocks have been acting. We're seeing a lot of stocks just get blown out of the water when volume does not come in. Support levels are not holding like they should, and it just doesn't feel right. And when things don't feel right, I sit on the sidelines and I mostly watch. If we look at the QQQ charts here, going to be a key early week test for this one. Some pretty bad weakness here over the last week, and we're right back down to the 50-day moving average. And I really believe we're going to blow out the lows sometime this year. It could be this summer or it could be into the election. This type of year, the second year of a presidential cycle for the midterms, typically is one of the worst performing times of the year for stocks. We're already seeing that right now with the kinds of sell-offs we've had to start the year, but these things tend to be very, very bad this time of the year. Now, the positive view going out is when this period ends, it is also one of the best periods afterwards. After the midterms elections tend to be a very, very bullish period. And looking down the road on what news we have out there, what's probably going to be the push on that is recession, Fed juice coming back, etc., etc., etc. Now, the canary in the coal mine right now is the Dow Transports. You're hearing a little bit of chatter, but not a whole lot, considering the size of the down move in the transportation stocks over the last week has mirrored that almost of the COVID tank. In COVID, transports lost about half their value. Dow Transports in the last 8 sessions were down almost 13%. That is a crazy drop, and this is a barometer of the economy. So the fact that the transports are having so much issues right now, this is a weekly chart we're looking at. If we look at the daily chart, look at this move down. Now, granted, you can say, look at that move up we had in early March as well. It can run just as quick as it sells off, and we could potentially see a bounce here near term. But going forward, over the next couple of months, kind of scary looking action out there. Freight rates are starting to drop. You're starting to see, remember the GDP number, this last GDP number, 75% of it was inventory bills in the that is companies stocking up on stuff. And with gas prices out of control, you're seeing inflation on the news all the time. Consumers are going to pull back. I mean, I know I've started seeing it in places I've gone. The crowds have started to lighten up in a lot of places all of a sudden. So the shock of gas prices is coming to this economy. back in 2008, and there's a chart I was actually going to go over at the end, but I'm going to go over it right now. This was the Dow back in 2008. This is when gas prices went through the roof, and it was about June, July before things started to really catch up, and then it was in August when they pulled the rug out from everything. USO, close enough chart that I can find to give us an idea of gas prices. You know, between February and July, we had almost a doubling. And now the USO, do not look at the numbers here because this thing has been readjusted and split so many times over the last 15, 14 years. We're looking at the patterns here on the chart, and you can see as well here, once we got to that price and it started selling off, it just built on itself and built on itself and built on itself. So this is why I'm viewing this as a day-by-day market right now. Now, with those core swings, we had one of them come to fruition on Friday with PHIO. And this is just another sign of a market that is really crazy. Target was 140. They were chasing this at 240 on Friday. Was the news anything special? It was just news, and the robots came in. That's essentially what moves in this market right now. It was a great chart setup. We knew that there was news coming because the company told us there was news coming. Came out at the right time, mid-morning. There was nothing else really going on. The algos latched on. The scanner FOMOs then started chasing, and, you know, this is what we saw here. This was a picture-perfect holding till it pays swing. Now, my other holding till it pays swing is MTCR. This company has thrown out so many hints that they're up for merger/buyout consideration right now. They have no physical offices anymore, and they're a biotech. They have over $1.50 in cash per share. Breakout. Where would the algos come in? Probably 70. It keeps getting up to that 67, 68 level, but this 70, 80 cent zone, you're going to see them rush in. Now, of course, we get a press release about strategic alternatives, and we've seen this many, many times before when they just chase this one. And target on this one, again, is just like PHIO. I'm looking for a move to the mid ones on this one. SEAC, this is another holding swing that I have right now. We had pretty good news on Friday. The merger is still in play. There was a lot of rumors that it wasn't. Had a nice pop up, but again, this is just another sign of, you know, at least something that I use to tell me that things are just not right in this market. This kind of news and the volume we saw in this stock last year would have had this stock over $2. And it had a big pop on Friday, gave it back, popped, gave it back, etc., etc., etc. Those kinds of movements on stocks and news that I think should do something and don't. And then looking back here on this is where this one should have gone and this is where they chased it. These kinds of silly extremes on both the positive and negative side usually tell me to sit back, be high cash, and just play what the market gives. RENO, this is another stock that I'm sitting on because of all the stuff that's coming down the road. There's a couple of these plays that I'm sitting on, you know, this food crises that come in. Oh my goodness, we haven't even scratched the surface on what's going to be coming, the headlines that are going to be coming this summer, unfortunately, from Africa, etc. These things are things that take a while to get going. RENO, fertilizer stocks, if you haven't been looking at the news, there is a run on all kinds of fertilizers out there. Farmers are actually reporting, and you're seeing headlines about them. They can't find fertilizer now to grow crops to take advantage of these huge prices. You even have manure farmers going, we're looking for cows, we're looking for shit, trying to find stuff so that we can sell it because the demand is so good out there. UAMY, this is another fertilizer stock, believe it or not. And what's funny is it may not be the battery news that finally blows up UAMY. It could actually be the fertilizer angle on this one. Nice little cup and handle on the weekly chart here. Again, this is another one. It's the 70s that'll set it free for a move to $1 plus. Speaking of food, look at this on CLXT. If you told me last month that this stock would be down in the 70s with all the food news that we're seeing out there and the moves that we're seeing on stocks like Seed, etc., I would tell you you're crazy. And yet, here we are sitting down here. I'm just going to sit in a core swing position of this one. Doesn't have to be big. It's not big. I'm only 5% in the market, give or take. So I'm going to sit on this one as well, hoping for this kind of move coming forward. A couple of large caps I wanted to go over real quickly. Disney, this has been a very nice support level, kind of bounce level for Disney this year, every couple of months. Bounces are getting less and less, but down here in the 130 area, a move up to 135 to 140 looks like it is in the cards, at least for now. And if it's not, it's one of those swings that I'm okay sitting on for a few months if I have to. AMC, just a quick mention. It was a chart when I was scrolling through on Friday. They couldn't get enough of this one at 34 a week ago, and we're back down to the 50-day moving average there this week. Be interesting to see if they're able to bounce this one over 20 this upcoming week. So that's it for the video, guys. Not much to say other than high caution stance, but there is action intraday. It's whatever the flavor of the day is, and being high cash lets you take advantage of that. If there's no action, I sit back and I do nothing. If there's action, I'll play some stocks, and I've got my core swings. Hopefully MTCR, with all the stuff that they're handing out there, we've got an annual meeting upcoming in May, so their shareholder meeting. So if there's going to be some kind of deal getting announced, I would expect it to possibly be soon. So have a great weekend, and I will see you all in the chat room tomorrow. Bye.